AMD just dropped their most advanced AI graphics card yet, putting real heat on NVIDIA and Intel. Intel is also stepping up with an in-game AI coach, but early tests aren't exactly flawless. And Jony Ive, the legendary designer behind the iPhone, just joined forces with OpenAI to build next-gen AI hardware that could kill your screen entirely. This isn't science fiction, it's actually happening. You know the drill. Let's get into it. AMD introduces the Radeon AI PRO W9700. How's that for a name? With 32 gigs of VRAM and the Navi 48 GPU. 32 gigs of memory, the first professional graphics card based on the RDNA 4 architecture. This was announced at Computex, and this graphics card, it's got a new product name, of course. We're gonna go with, this time, the AI PRO W9700. Blower style graphics card. You got a single fan in that bad boy, and it's designed for multi-GPU server developments. Just to break it down, this is AMD going straight for the enterprise throat. 32 gigs on a blower style GPU means serious AI compute in compact workstations. Also, flexing efficiency, beating in LLMs with fewer cores. It's not a fluke. It's optimization on these cards. In terms of specs, AMD hasn't revealed full specs like the memory bus, but we're gonna guess a 256-bit interface on this bad boy. 300-watt TBP, dual 8-pin power connector setup, and you've got 4 DisplayPort outputs, 2.1. Now, this is kind of interesting, the way that AMD's decided to release this card and produce this card. So, launching AIB custom models for a Pro card. You know, it's like AMD's trying to bridge Pro workflows with gamer aesthetics, maybe. Who knows? I'm interested to see what some of these cards look like from the various AIBs. 32 gigs of memory, major LLM performance. These are for your AI workstations, and it beats its predecessor despite having fewer cores. So very interesting stuff coming out of AMD on the professional side. Let's dig into a couple comments here and see what people are saying. First, NVIDIA and now AMD. No one cares about the gaming community now, just puppets for AI companies. They're going where the dollars are, which is unfortunate. I kind of wish NVIDIA would spin off GeForce into a separate company or brand. Let the enthusiasts run the gaming side, but it's never going to happen. It's wishful thinking. Guys, let me know what you think about this card. No pricing yet on this, but if we were to guess, where do you think it would land? Let me know down below. All right, guys, gamers are kind of furious on this one. AMD is not backing down. From the 8GB debate to naming confusion, the 9060 XT, it's already stirring up a little bit of controversy. Let's dig into it. All right, guys, so AMD, they've caught a little bit of criticism for building multiple VRAM configurations under a single graphics card name like NVIDIA did. Frank Azor from AMD has doubled down on this, saying that most gamers play on 1080p. AMD defends the RX 9060 XT 8GB variant of the card, says the majority of gamers have no use for more VRAM. I'll let you tell me if that's true or not in the comments down below, but not before you subscribe. Check this out. AMD says they wouldn't make 8GB if it wasn't needed. The Radeon RX 480 launched 9 years ago with 8 gigs of memory, priced at $229. If you would have guessed that nearly a decade later, 8 gig models would not only persist, but become even more expensive. We've got the 9060 XT at $299 for an 8GB card, with the 16 gig coming in at $349. Now, here's where things get hairy. Frank Azor from AMD defended the decision, saying, hey, most gamers still play at 1080p. You don't need more than 8 gigs of VRAM. Here's the tweet from Frank. Majority of gamers are still playing at 1080p and have no use for more than 8 gigs of memory. Most played games worldwide are mostly esports games. We wouldn't build it if there wasn't a market for it. If 8GB isn't right for you, then there's 16. Same GPU, no compromise, just memory options. What do we think about that? Now, while that might be a reasonable defense, reviewers remain unconvinced, particularly as memory demands for games continue to rise. Now listen, Frank's 1080p take might have worked in 2017, but you've got modern textures, modern engines, and 8GB is starting to feel like the bare minimum. There was little justification for labeling both the 8 gig and 16 gig models under the same RX 9060 XT name. AMD already has a history of launching numerous SKUs Could have avoided confusion by branding the 8 gig card simply as the RX 9060. With only a few models in the RX 9000 lineup so far, this naming flexibility still existed. Now, here's what AMD is essentially doing. They're trying to thread the needle a little bit here. Budget-friendly cards, but still catch flack when the specs don't meet modern expectations. Naming confusion aside, transparency is fairly key here. Gamers don't want to guess what's under the hood. You have NVIDIA sending that 5060 Ti to reviewers, but they're only sending them the 16 gig model. So if you're someone who's not as familiar with hardware and the differences in VRAM, maybe you'll have some confusion there in terms of assuming that the 8 gig card would perform similarly to its 16 gig variant that's getting all of the reviews out in public. Oh, we've got an AMD hater here. The same company that was advertising their products as being a better choice because it had more VRAM than NVIDIA's counterparts. Such blatant hypocrisy. Piss off, AMD. Here's a great comment, and I think there's a lot of validity here. What are the prices of these cards with lower VRAM? Check this out. 8 gigabytes is fine at a low enough price. While most demanding games, even in 1080p, would require more nowadays, I find an 8 gigabyte option still as good as DGPU, though preferably at a lower price. Let me know what you guys think about this. Weigh in down below in the comments. Apple's iPhone design legend just joined OpenAI, and he's working on hardware that is so futuristic, it just might kill your screen. OpenAI, they're in the business of buying companies. They're buying them left and right, and they've got all the cash to do it with. Well, check this out. OpenAI is acquiring I.O. It's a device startup that CEO Sam Altman and famed Apple designer Jony Ive have quietly been working on for 2 years. Now, who's Jony Ive?
Uh-oh, this is the part of the video where I say, oopsies, I pronounced the name wrong. It's Jony Ive, not Jony Ive.
Whoops.
Jony Ive helped make the iPhone. He's a legendary product designer. Okay, so what's this product that they're working on? What's worth $6.5 billion with a freaking B? Well, we don't know a whole ton about what they're doing here, but we do know that it involves creating devices. I.O., under OpenAI, is going to develop AI-powered consumer devices and other projects. Apparently, they've been working on a device that moves consumers, quote-unquote, beyond screens. I don't know what that means. First devices slate to debut just next year in 2026. A family of devices will let people use AI to produce all sorts of wonderful things, quote-unquote. What is this? So there's not a whole ton of information on what they're actually building other than it's a screenless device. Could we be looking at an iPhone moment for AI hardware? If so, screenless might not be sci-fi much longer. It might end up coming to life here. Let me know what you guys think about this. What are they working on? Is this going to be a brain implant? I'm not putting that shit in my brain. Well, it looks like your next duo partner could be AI. Intel's new in-game assistant just dropped, but early tests aren't exactly clutch. Why don't we take a look? Intel's AI gaming coach to help win battles. This is a iGPU and NPU AI gaming coach, a real-time assistant for gamers. This is what we've always wanted, an AI coach, someone to tell us how bad we are, or me specifically. I don't want to project, but
I'll be missing stats. I'm going to be honest.
NVIDIA recently introduced Project G-Assist. You'll remember that's that small little AI model that you can run locally to help you during gameplay, which also you can use to optimize your system's hardware. Intel, they said, hey, I want part of that. I want to start doing some AI stuff. Check this out. They are developing a similar technology, although it's limited to certain games at the moment. Importantly, this technology requires integration from game developers. So game developers have to say, you know what, I would love this to work with Intel's AI gaming coach. The AI assistant was designed not to interfere with the gaming experience. For example, it may guide players to search for weapons or equipment before upcoming battles or suggest strategies for defeating bosses. It's like Game Shark. Anyone ever use the Game Shark? Anyone? Am I old? Just me? I'm ancient? Awesome. Listen, it's like having a sweaty coach yelling call-outs into your ear. You know, and this definitely feels like it's Intel's answer to NVIDIA's G-Assist, but boy, did they have a lot of catching up to do. Interestingly, check this out, Intel's assistant doesn't run on discrete graphics. You would imagine that to be the case. The demo was shown on a system with an RTX 5060 laptop GPU, but the AI model itself runs both on the NPU and iGPU, likely because the NPU alone isn't powerful enough. In fact, the demo showed the NPU operating at full capacity. Now, for gaming laptops that already include discrete graphics along with the CPU featuring both iGPU and NPU, Intel has found a practical use for these components. The company has not yet disclosed the size of the model or provided details about planned features or future directions. G-Assist appears to be more advanced at this stage, offering broader functionality like hardware queries and game optimization. Intel's solution, as the name suggests, is currently limited to coaching. No release date yet, limited platform support. It's early days, okay? But if they pull this off, coaching bots might be the new meta in a year. We'll see what happens. Let me know what you guys think about this down below. If you haven't already, sure would appreciate a like, subscribe, and then comment down below. Let me know where you're watching from. I appreciate you guys watching. We've got more videos coming. Make sure you're subscribed to catch those. We'll see you next time.